Hello, welcome back to I Wanna Lockpick. Alright, last episode we discovered something known as negative keys. Yeah. So might have some very interesting things to do this time. So let's go back and see what else there is. I also figured out negative brown keys mean some very interesting things. We'll see if that becomes relevant soon or not. Alright, 6-7, I think, is where we're going next. Yeah. Questionable residues. Oh. Negative exact keys pretty much work how you'd expect. What's that you say? An elephant in the room waiting to be addressed. All I see are a bunch of 12 and negative 12 locks. I do wonder what's up with those. It doesn't seem like they're blocking anything, so I guess they're the least of your worries. Okay, I see what I need is I need to get to the 0 green. But I need to collect this first, open that. And once I do, I now need to access one of these ends, which will bring my exact count to either 6 or negative 6. And I assume using the other path, I need to balance my number out to reach 0 pink. Interesting. I wonder if there's any mod 12 related shenanigans here. Mod 12, huh? Okay, so let's think about this. Is there any way we can figure out whether we want to end up with 6 or negative 6 keys? I don't know, everything here seems pretty normal so far. I guess we can kind of tabulate exactly how many of each. Here's a 43, that's really interesting. 4 times 12 is 48. So at most we have 48 positive and negative 48. And 48 negative locks, I guess. Yeah. I mean, if I just walked in... Interesting. If my number's gonna end up being 6 or negative 6 in the first place, then my question is, won't every single key behind that be irrelevant? If I use these keys to open doors, then I lose doors for no reason. Eventually my number's gonna end up being 6 anyway, so I might as well overwrite this value as opposed to this value, right? This door, for example, doesn't lock us out of anything, so there's no point opening it. Yeah. So I think it is optimal to either just walk in and grab the 6 or walk in and grab the negative 6. And then the goal is to use the other path to balance yourself out. So I guess we'll just take a look at each option. If I had a 6 here... Well... At what point can I start opening doors? I can't open doors when I do this. I can't open doors at this point. I can open a door once I collect this. I think the idea has to be that my number eventually has to reach a value of mod 12, right? Yeah, it has to. From 6 onwards. It's to reach a value of mod 12. I do notice that another thing that could happen is I could grab some keys and remove them first. And then collect the 6. So I think the idea is to now figure out if there is a chain of keys here, not necessarily from the start, but any consecutive chain that brings me, I think, 6 less than a multiple of 12, because I already have 6 here. So this would be a chain of keys needs to sum up to 6 less than a multiple of 12. Or I could try going for the negatives as well, in which case 6 more than a negative of 12 is identical to 6 less. Alright, in that case, yeah, any chain that brings me a sum of 6 more than a value, then a multiple of 12. Sorry, yeah. Okay. Well, I need to find a value that is 6 more than a multiple of 12. these multiples of 12 don't change anything. Okay, let's really slowly go through this. If I have 15, I need another multiple. I need another odd number, which is the 9. If I summed all of these up from 15 all the way to this minus 9, 14 minus 6 is minus 2. Minus 15 minus 9 is minus 24. Minus 2 is not 6 more than a multiple of 12. And the 43 won't help. So no, I don't think I can collect the 15. Or the 15 cannot be part of this chain. If I combine the 9 and the 43 then... Actually, hold on. The 14 and the 16... No, they give you minus 2, which doesn't work. Okay. The negative 9 and the 43 brings me to a value of, I think, 34? 34 minus 16... 34 minus 16... 24... minus 6, yeah, okay, that works. So the chain has to be this, right? Yeah, and like the 24 in front of it, I could technically override. I think if I don't override, then I go to bigger than 48, which is what fails us. Oh, I go to exactly 48, that works. Wait, so if I had ignored the 24 and overridden it, wouldn't this also work? Yeah, it would also work. Then I can collect this and this. Okay. Sure. I guess again, multiple solutions, but it's fine. Alright, I'll do the cooler one where I open more doors. Alright, the number works out. We're done. $6.10. Okay. I guess we have to go to 6.8 right now. Can't ignore nothing. Oh. Okay, I see a lot of mod 2 shenanigans going on here. To open these and bring myself back down to 0. All of these values are even. Therefore, I need to open these locks to get myself to an odd value, open this and walk through. That is to say, I just need to open all of these. Okay. I can do this and this first. I'm fairly certain that's optimal. No point in not opening them. Alright, let's read the description. As the name implies, you can't escape those blank doors. Even when you add negative keys to the mix, the difference that an even or odd key count mix is still telling. You've probably got a good intuition about that stuff built up by now, though. I did. That was the first thing I noticed. Okay, so... I'm not sure how exactly to do this mathematically. Because I'm pretty sure I need to collect this right now. If I don't, I have nowhere to go. So I have to collect this now, and I can do things. I need to pass through these. I don't think I can pass through you yet. In fact, that is actually going to take quite a while to unlock you. Because we need a positive 2, and this is a negative 2. So we need to open this or this. Actually, we can't do that. We need to get this guy to open you. Because you're hidden behind a positive 2 as well. So are you. So I need to open you eventually. I think it all adds up though. So like, to open the blanks, I'm going to need to balance out a 2 with a negative 2, right? Yeah. And if I balance those out, I gain access to a lot of things. Including this negative 2, which allows me to obtain those 2 cyan keys which I need to proceed. So I think this is a good step forward. Okay, I don't need to worry about having anything left over, because I see at the end, ideally if I had 0 keys opening these doors, I should be able to be just fine. Okay, either I collect the negative 2, which can only open that, or I collect the negative 2 here, which I must do either way, the negative 2 orange. Okay. I think that this 2 and this negative 2 can balance out, so I should use this minus 2 right now. And now ideally I just use this here, and then we gain access to both the positive and negative 2 oranges, which allows us to open these doors. Okay. Now I see some sort of net zero here, so I think I want to work towards that. And then that can balance out with this to open more stuff. The -2 here can open that, and that works out for purple, so we should do that. Then the cyans actually have their own net zero here. -2 balances out. Okay, I can't balance out the cyans yet because the 2 doors that exist are non-blank doors. So rather I need to clear out my cyans. Oh, I balanced out my cyans. Oops, don't do that. Okay, by opening this, we should be home free. Perfect. I can't run any further, I don't think. I can slow myself down. I can slow myself even further down. But yeah. Can't run any faster. There you go. Alright, so that's this work complete. Definitely not done yet though, we gotta keep going. 6-9. Holidor. Holidor? Holidor? Ah, because we're using the 3 colors. Let's introduce some more festive colors to the garden. Of course, this set of colors is highly conducive to aura shenanigans, but who's to say that that's a bad thing? You also got a present, some Signflip keys with which to burn in your mind. Happy Holidors. Right, so Signflip keys, which flip the sign of my key count. That's all forced. I have a bunch of Signflip keys here. I have a frozen behind a Signflip, so I need to enter this area with a negative number of red? Well, not true, because I could flip to become positive. Sorry, I can flip to become negative, then change my value to become positive again. I do notice, however, that there are an overwhelming number of red keys in the negatives here. Okay. I feel like Signflip keys are super interesting because, like, in certain cases you can balance yourself out, and in certain cases you can do even worse things. Like here, if I had -2, -2, and then I Signflipped, I get +4, which is really high. But if I -2 and I Signflipped, and then I collected the -2 again, then I go back down to 0. So in that sense, the Signflip keys actually did cause the order in which you collect keys to be relevant. I mean, I guess blank doors also do that, but still. It's a blank door in key form, maybe. Okay, so what do I need to start by doing? Well, I do need corrosion here. I see that this 6 white key I think is necessary for 16. If I count all the keys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, and then 4. Alright, so what that is to say is that 16 over here is the absolute value of all the keys here. So positive or negative, there are absolute values sum up to 16. Therefore, you cannot have any balancing out effects. Like this -2 can't balance out because that causes my number to never go up 16. So that is to say that, well, this is a positive 16. So ideally I collect both of these and then I Signflip. And then I collect everything else. I guess that's interesting. Additionally, I see that I have only 5 green keys here, which I need to unerode you. There's a Signflip right in front of it. What does that mean? I need to get up to 5. How will I work this out? So it looks like what I might need to do. Okay, I think I get it. I need to collect the 4, then Signflip twice, then collect the 1. I'm very confused. I was very confused because it didn't look like there was a way to get 5 keys here. If you Signflip right now at 0, then you can collect the 4 and the 1 pretty easily. But then Signflipping brings you to -5, which doesn't work. However, if you collect the 4 then Signflip, -4 plus 1 is 3, -3, and if you Signflip again, you only get the +3. So I think the only way to do this is to collect the 4, Signflip twice, then collect the 1, which brings you to 5. Okay. So that means I need to collect the 4 first. I can collect this and then Signflip on white. And then I'm preparing myself for another Signflip here. Okay. I see 3 -2s and 1 +2, which actually exactly matches all the red key counts I have here. That makes this Signflip really interesting. Why do I want that Signflip? I don't know. It's only a singular Signflip. Well, I mean, I can choose to ignore that Signflip, right? If I ignore this Signflip, then everything works out perfectly. If I collected this Signflip while I had a positive number of keys, or negative in fact, then I think the distribution of keys completely does not work out. And considering I need to open all of these to access white, I need to open all of these. So I'm pretty sure I need to Signflip at 0. But the problem is that if I did Signflip at 0, well, yeah, then it works out. I was gonna say if I Signflip at 0 and then I did everything I did, the red key here opening this prevents me from ever unfreezing things again. But oh well, I can just unfreeze right now, and there is no problem after that. Net 0 here. I like this. I need to Signflip, right? Signflip twice on green. Do this, unerode. I need to collect those -2, open everything, and I'm done. Yeah, okay. Cool. Alright, 6-9 is done. I assume these are all the extras. Hard mode. Opposite day. I remember there was a level in World 4 that was called easy mode, so I assume that's what that's about. Alright, 610. Rainbow's Blessing. Oh, okay. I need 25 pure keys. Oh my goodness, what in the world? Hey look, a negative blast door. They do the same thing as a normal blast door, but they require a negative amount of keys to open. The inverse applies for your positive blast doors as well. That aside, here's a cool rainbow flower to increase your solving woes. So the ease, I want to say increase. Yeah, here you go, here's a rainbow flower. It's a rainbow blessing. Okay, so we start off with a bunch of random stuff. A negative blast door requires me to have a negative number to open, but brings my count back to 0. I need 25 pure. How will I get to 25 pure? Do all these numbers add to 25? 3, 7, 13, 17, 21. No, oh god, no. Well, okay, some of these I require pure doors to open anyway. How am I supposed to, how am I supposed to do this though? Here's a -3 master door. What in the world? Here's a -3 master door. There's no way I'm getting -3 master keys, right? No. Clearly not. And I can't open it via doing anything else. I know brown exists, however, we need to know that... Okay, well firstly, there's no actual way to get to a negative brown value in the first place. I don't see any Signflips on brown, I don't see any negative brown values. And secondly, even if I had a negative value of browns to open this, we know that those can only open purely brown negative doors. Because the negative aura from the brown would just undo this anyway. So the idea is that this is never openable. I think this is a wall. Oh, okay. Purple door? Purple door. Okay. I think because we have no restrictions on gold, I should just collect the gold, the master key first. I can't go through here or here. I see what I can do is I can collect the -5, go down here, and then do stuff. I can collect the -5 and balance myself out, opening this and this, bringing myself to 0. Oh, okay. I don't know what else to do here. -3 pure. I don't think negative pure keys do anything because the positive values. Having a positive number of pure keys doesn't change anything, right? Yeah, it just is a type of key. It doesn't have any aura around it. Gosh, okay. Also, I can master key through a bunch of stuff right now. This master key is so annoying because it breaks down a lot of the arguments that you can make. Just by saying you can open that with the master key though. Is there anything that I have to use a master key for? I mean, a lot of things I can, but I don't quite know. Okay. Okay, so let's try adding up everything. 3, 4, this is 10, 17. This is 13, so there are 30 total. Okay, 30 keys total if you take all the absolute values. 25 I used here. So I only have a maximum of 5 more keys to use. I'm saying that, like, to get to this 3, you kind of need to open this 3. You either open this or this, both of which bring your number closer to 0. So I'm gonna count that as bringing my number down. So if I need 3 here, then I can only use 2 more pure keys. I think it has to be up here then, one of them. And the other one has to be here. Because all of the remaining keys are... Oh no, I can access you via this as well. This one requires some number of pure keys to open. Right, either 1 or 2. Ideally, it's 1 here. Which means that I'll only have at most 1 more pure key to spend, which either is here or here. Here seems really useless. I don't get why I want to open this. But then again, how would I know? This seems a bit better. But yeah, okay, I guess we have some idea on what the distribution of keys is. Should we start working on this? Yeah, why not? Alright, I'm gonna assume that the master key isn't used for anything yet. If it is used for something, I'll eventually figure it out. But I think this is a good idea to start. Okay. Well, now what? I can do a Signflip. I don't get why I want to do a Signflip on blue. I can master key through something, I guess. I guess, yeah, I can. I don't know why I want to master key through that, for example. Okay, here's 9 cyan keys, which are all the keys I have in cyan. There's 6 cyan doors and 2 blast doors. 2 blast doors is interesting because I can only use 1 of them, ever, right? Yes. I can only ever use 1 of them. I can't use both, because once I go down to 0, there's no way to increase or change my value anymore. The other one stays completely locked forever. If I did go through them, I have to use a master key. Okay. There are more patterns I can see. Like, in blue, there's exactly 3 blue keys, which I might need to open these corrosives. Ooh, okay, here's something I can do. I am very certain that these 4 keys can definitely just open that. The reasoning is obvious. There are basically no more purple locks that exist. Therefore, there is no reason for me to have any number of purple keys at all. So yes, we are completely done with the purple system. We can open these whenever we want, once we uncorrode them. Okay. Ah, yes, okay. If this is a wall, we will need to collect this and this, I'm fairly certain. Yes, okay. The idea is that because we need to open one of these doors for the 3. Actually, this is a net 0, essentially. We can think about it as a net 0. Right? Yeah, we can think about it as a net 0. These doors bring us closer to 0. This 3, if it brings us even closer to 0, it's bad for us. If it brings us further away from 0, it's good for us. But that would then balance out whatever effect we had here. So yeah, this is a net 0. Therefore, ignoring this, our 30 keys have become 27. And with 25 used here, again, we only have 2 usable. We cannot afford to lose 4 keys here. So we have to enter through here because we know this is a wall. Likewise, you have to enter through here. So yeah, we will eventually need the 3 corrosives. The 3 not corrosive, ungraffiti. If we need 3... Well, I say it's very likely we have to enter through the back here. Because if we enter through the front here, we'd be spending 3 pure keys at least on this. Which is bad. So we enter through the back here. If I enter through the back here... What would that say? Well... If I enter through the back here, I need to enter here without passing any of the corrosives. And I'm pretty sure I can't pass through this either right now. In fact, if I did, then we'd be losing keys in this exact area. Again, we're only opening one of these doors. So the only way through is via the horizontal, the middle path, I think. So I need to do this. Right now I need to go through that, but I have to collect a positive number of keys first. So I must Signflip, then collect 9. I can open this already because we know that the Cyans are going to have to open both of those anyway. Oh, I forget that we can brown things. I feel like the only way to get rid of these is to brown the sign door down there, actually. Because there's basically no other color I can get. I can get 3 of this. But that is... No, I have to get rid of all my brown keys right now. Because I can't walk through this, otherwise. Right? I think so. Things are really complicated here though, because at this point, I have a lot of pure keys. I have no way to Signflip. Ah, there is one way through though. The master key. I think I have the master key here. I'm pretty sure there's absolutely no way for me to Signflip to -6 to open that. Because I need a -3 and I cannot get the -3 here. I'm very certain about that. All of these Signflips are locked behind this. This Signflip here could work, but requires me to use a master key anyway. That could be a reason why I do that. Is that this brings me closer to Signflipping on Cyan. Therefore, I might as well do that. So if this allows me to Signflip immediately, I will be quite happy about that. Yeah, so like doing this, the Signflip. And I can go through here, Signflip, and then open that. This allows me to do more things. Right? Okay. I think it's a good idea to open, to collect the 0 blue key right now. Because there are no blank blue doors, so there's no reason for me to go back to 0 once I collect the 3 blues. Okay, and now with that I can uncode a bunch of stuff. I do notice some interesting things, which are... Then I also need to spend 1 key, which I can do. Signflipping here brings me back to 0, exactly. And I was a bit afraid at this point, because I've not know how to bring myself to a positive value. Eventually, I'm gonna want to... Actually, no, I know what to do now, I think. We're done. I don't open that yet, I do this first, yes. I know exactly what to do now. Now I can use this one to open this blast door. And now what I need to do is to have all the keys remaining open the 25. I need to collect the -6 and -4 first. And then Signflip to a positive value. Only then can I collect every other positive value. If I did the other way around, then obviously I end up with -25, which, you know, doesn't work, but this does. Alright, there you go. The math worked out pretty well. Alright, let's do 6A, opposite day. Oh my goodness, what is this? Did you know that the opposite of white is black? Oh, you did. Well, I guess black keys don't need an introduction, then. I had a whole firm handshake and awkward eye-to-eye plan too. Oh well. Black keys. I don't suppose they do anything. I think they're just keys that are black in color. Right? Because white keys don't do anything. Alright, but I need to start by doing this. I start by having... I need to have negative... I need to have a negative number of black keys. Interesting. Okay, I see what happens here is that... This does nothing. This removes my pure key. Same for this. This removes my pure key. If I ever want to open more than one of these doors... No, I need to end with a pure key too. Oh. These are like bad. Are these bad? If I open them, don't I just lose my pure key forever? These are like completely red herrings. I can never open them. Right? Am I tripping? I can't open them. There's no way. Yeah, I can't do anything after this point. And even if I had things open, for example, if I open this, then I just can't open that. So yeah. And of course, if I end with a pure key, I have to walk through these fully. Okay. So every time I enter a hallway, I need to walk all the way to the end of it. And that results in changes in a lot of things. We have a bunch of sign flips at the end as well. Okay. Well, there are a few ways to get to -1. All of these work. Okay, question. If I went through all of them, does anything change? A lot of things change. This is not good. This brings my... Actually, no. I need to go through them in a different order. Actually, the order in which I do things also matters at this point. Yeah, wow, the order in which I do things matters. If I went here first, things change again. Oh gosh, well then how am I supposed to know what to do then? Doesn't change anything. And we have a bunch of sign flips up there. There's a triple sign flip. I'm not sure why I want a triple sign flip. I need to work on this more interestingly. Okay. So... Is there a way... No idea what I was gonna say. Okay. I noticed that behind all of these are exact keys. No sign flips. Only exact keys. Is there a reason why that's interesting? Well, these options both include a -1 green key, for which a sign flip wouldn't do any would do me harm, unless I went through 2 sign flips, which does nothing. It brings my values up to 1 though. So, okay. I feel like the idea then has to be that I need to have a positive number of green keys. Yeah, because if I went through here, red keys being 0 and blue keys being 0. Hold on. We know this is a failure state. We know that's a failure state, yeah. There are no negative red and blue keys otherwise, I think. So the sign flips are necessary for red and blue. Okay, but if I use this, then after collecting this and this, I'll need to get one green key to obtain this and this, which will completely remove the -1 that I have here. And now I have to sign flip it. If I sign flipped it, then there's no point doing it. I think parity-wise it doesn't work. If I'm sure that this zeros must be useful then. But I'm starting to see that there might be a problem with that. If I went to the zeros and brought these down to 0, then in a very similar fashion... Oh, yes, then I can sign flip on green without any issues. Because blue and red are zeros, they don't get affected. And that's good because... that's good because... eventually, I want to end up sign flipping all 3 of them. So all of them have to go to 1, I think. Which is doable if I think I did this. So I need to... what? Wait. I need to, I think... if I need to get all values to 1, then I need to enter here while the red and blues are negative. Actually, this works and allows me to sign flip like this. This brings me back to our original value. The idea is, can this be done after collecting something that changes black? Not quite sure really, because if I went to sign flip right now, I think things might be interesting. We start with a positive green instead. I don't think that does anything though. Yeah, okay, I'm not figuring this out. Hold on. I don't understand what the idea in this puzzle is. I think I need to understand what the idea is. Each of these exhibits some sort of change towards the colors, which isn't true because you could keep your value the same after going through these, right? The idea is that I want to keep these 3 values the same after some change, and this value to change. The problem is I can't use parity. The exact keys prevent me from using parity. Like for example, I could sign flip then collect this -1, and in doing that I've opened 2 passageways to get a change, even though it seems like I need 1 operation to change it to -1. Yeah. So I can't use parity as an argument. If I use the triple sign flip as an argument, well, what would a triple sign flip do? I don't know what a triple sign flip would do. See, a triple sign flip when some of these are zeros are interesting, right? Like if I did this, then I triple sign flipped. I feel like that would be very interesting. Does this work? No. Because I sign flipped on green and doing so. Well, if I had -1 instead, could I collect this green first? I might be able to... No. If I did this first... I did this, that wouldn't work either. Yeah, this just doesn't work. Okay. So... I really have no idea what they want from me here. Like, I feel like the point of the puzzle is to sort of resolve between green and the other two colors. There must be a set of operations that change green but not the other two colors, or something like that. Okay, if every single option that I have, besides these two, change red and blue in the exact same way, I think the idea is that I need to collect either both of these or none of these. Not true, because I could balance each other out by collecting 0. Okay. Wait, let me think about this. If I collected 0 of each key, then I have to collect 1 eventually. Therefore, again, I have to collect both of these. Otherwise, because, once again, the change in keys needs to be the same for red and blue, I either need to collect both of these or none of these. If I collected none of these, then I don't collect this. Because we know collecting this means collecting both of these. So by contrapositive, if I collect none of these, then I also don't collect this one. Which fails because we need one of these to change my black sign. The sign of the black value. So I have to go into one of these, and therefore I need to go into this and this. Okay. We can force that. I don't know if I don't really know if it's worth it to mark these down, but yes, we need to go through these in some order. The order, I think, does in fact matter. We do notice that this brings our negative key count to -1 in some case. I think the only way to exhibit enough change is to do these really far apart, so that the -1 actually has some impact on the rest of the puzzle. If I collected both of them, right, then these might as well have been the same key. Here's another idea. I could have already opened... No, I cannot. I can't leave. Oh, okay. Oh, that's really cool, I guess. So, they use the level geometry to prevent me from going back up. I was thinking, could I just open the 3 keys down there? And then, change my sign and walk through. But no, once I go in there, I can't leave. So, I need to go in there with exactly minus, 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 and positive here. Okay. So how do I... I need to go into... Hold on. If I did this, I'll have positives of red and blue, which means I need to flip them to open this. If I did that, then I have to either take this guy or this guy. And for that, I do in fact need to flip twice. No, I need to flip an odd number of times, yes, because I start positive, I need to go negative. So I either collect all 3 of these, or I collect 1. Okay. Does the zeros affect me? Yes, I'm sure. Because if I collected these, then I collected the 0. I'm pretty sure there's no way out. Like, if I collected this, then I collected the 0. The red is stuck at 0 forever. There's no way out of that. So I can't collect this, like... I have to collect this first, I think. Or not at all. And if we eventually have a Signflip twice, then I should collect this, right? Then I Signflip twice, yeah. So I think that this is the first step that I need to do. I'm desperately wondering if there's any reason why that isn't the case. If I did this, followed by this, there's nothing that works. If I Signflipped right now, then once again, collecting these doesn't work. Yeah, collecting this requires a Signflip on blue and... yeah, so this I don't know what this is supposed to be about, but... I find you start by doing this, Signflip, and then... another Signflip here, but this looks so bad. Yeah, because now I think blue is on deficit. And then if I did the other way around, then red will be on deficit, and in both cases it doesn't work out. If I collected both of these at the same time... not sure. I need to Signflip each of these an odd number of times. But I can skip on Signflips, right? If I skipped on Signflips, is that okay? I don't know what I'm doing. I really have no idea what I'm doing. Hold on. Okay, so... I don't know. I'm so stumped. I think like the main issue is I just can't find a way to like convert this into a system that I can understand. Is this some sort of ternary related system? Is this ternary? I don't think this is ternary. The logic to this... Again, I am ignoring these 2 rows, but I'm not sure if I should. Like, they can't be part of the solution, can they? There's no way. There's no way. If I went through here, I need to go through here really early. If I don't, then I don't go through there at all. Again, like... these have to come before this and this. Yeah, if so this is to come before this and this. And because we know we're opening both of them, I'm not even sure if that's true anymore. I have to open that first. And then Signflip twice, which makes sense. It's technically possible to go through one of these and then... Actually, if I did this, then I did this. The Signflips work out in a very interesting way. I kind of like that. But I don't really. Oh wait, no, this yeah, then the negative ones don't work out. See, the green negative one. How do I bypass the green negative one? With this, right? But if I did bypass the green negative one like that, then the red and blue would sign flip into positives as well. But if I had done this, then red and blue would be at positive values. Which might not be the case if I had sign flipped them before. Which I think is interesting. There you go, I think this works. Nice, okay. Perfect. Wait, I didn't sign flip in the right order. Uh-oh. I didn't do things in the right order, did I? I sign flipped twice, but I never actually opened this. Oh. Okay, well in that case I can open it right now. Because having 0 to start doesn't change anything, right? We're going to go to 1 anyway. And then now I sign flip everything. And that works out perfectly. The positive here ignores every sign flip on green I've ever done. But it still is relevant for blue. For blue and red. Okay. Well, that was a puzzle. Jeez. Yeah, I don't know what to make of that. That is just difficult. Alright, well, I guess that means that I've spent a bit too much time in this world. We'll work on the next 2 levels next time then. There's a little alcove I can stand here for some reason. Not sure what that's about. Alright, so yeah, we'll do all of this next episode. Until then, hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys next time. Bye bye!